Hey everybody, so I just got finished recording my video, editing my video, and I did notice there's a lot of loss in quality issues that I'm running into with lights not being set up properly and just sound and ambient sound and background noise and the computer noise, the air conditioner kicking on, everything in the hotel room. I didn't think about those things when I started making these videos, and I'm not happy with the quality that's coming from the videos. I noticed recently that some of them are way too dark, or I'm way too quiet in some of them, and I'm trying to adjust gains and volumes and lights and all that. What I what I'm going to attempt to do from here on is work on the content for my videos while I'm on the road. Record them at home in my own studio where everything is set up the exact way I like it, and then I'll work on the editing when I'm on the road. So I'll still be, the Iron Nomad working on the videos, except I probably won't be recording videos anymore while I'm on the road just because of the camera angle, lights, and all that, and carrying everything with me and making sure when editing video, I just need my laptop. So just thought I would let that be known, and hopefully everyone's having a good night and enjoy my video. Hey everybody, Iron Nomad here. Before I start this video, I wanted to take time to let everyone know what I was getting into recently. So one of my biggest things that I always wanted to do was have a time where I can sit down, talk to some buds, and record our conversations. Because let's face it, they get crazy. And I wanted to share those so people could enjoy in our comedy or poke fun at us, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, those sessions are what I'd like to call tribe talks. And hopefully soon I will get my first one up on my YouTube channel. Something I started recently is called Adventures with Opal. It's where I take my daughter and we go to the park, and hopefully soon we'll start going other places. I do have a GoPro camera. I'll start using that and taking video, and I'll start uploading that. And then I'd like to see that go some fun places. Who doesn't like a dad and his daughter playing around and having a good time? I mean, it's good content right there, right? Anyway, I'd really like to start using my Instagram to focus on the lighter side in life, because let's face it, 10 out of 10 people die. And I know that sounds morbid, and I know you're probably like, what's he saying? I just want you to know that we need a laugh. Everyone needs something to look at, something to look forward to that puts a smile on their face, or something to brighten their day. And that's something that I've always wished I could do for people. So I'm going to try, and we'll see how it works out. For this video, I want to focus on anxiety and your imagination. I'm Iron Nomad, and thank you for tuning into my channel. In this episode, I want to talk about how your imagination affects your anxiety. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I don't have any medical background. I'm just a man has some experience in dealing with crummy situations, and some might find what I say useful during their crummy situations. One of the biggest contributing factors to my pumped up anxiety is my imagination. I used to sit and wonder if others thought about the same stories as I did in my head. I cherished my imagination, and as I continued to get older, I always had fun thoughts, adventures playing in my head 24/7. Then around my late 20s, 25, 26, I felt those stories take a dark turn. Fun and whimsical times I used to have turned into really bad doomsday scenarios. I started to constantly worry about things that, looking back, had a very small probability of happening. As this continued, I started to despise my imagination. I thought of it as an evil force that I needed to get rid of, and fast. I dreaded alone time stuck inside my own head. Yet being around people amped up my anxiety too, mainly because I allowed their words to influence my mind and imagination. This let my mind run amped up, and things just got terrible and out of hand fast, 24/7. I became as secluded as possible, didn't talk to anyone, and didn't allow anyone into my bubble. I built a wall. mentally, not physically, and didn't allow anyone in, so I didn't have to go out or be around people. This in turn made me a terrible hermit, and I started to resent other parts of my life. When things continued to get worse, I realized that this needed to stop. I needed to find the root and pull it, get it out of my life forever. I sat down one day and wrote down a few things. Well, a lot of different things. First, I listed out stresses and emotions, things that I was feeling. Then wrote down times I felt most anxious and what was going on during those times. After about 10 minutes passed by, I was getting quite the list, and everything was flying onto the paper. That day I ended up writing about 4 to 5 pages front and back. Random thoughts, times of anxiety, things I worried about, different ideas, things that needed to come out. Overall, that exercise was one of the best things I could have ever done in my life at that time. It allowed me to truly see what in the world was going on in my noggin. As well, it allowed me to start thinking about these YouTube videos. The biggest realization I came to that day was that my imagination was destroying me. Yet, I already had the capability of turning this situation around, and all I had to do was write a few tricks down, make them a habit, and remain consistent. Okay, so the tricks I taught myself are very simple to learn, and you can start incorporating into your daily life immediately. Trick number 1, have a simple action that you can do that gives you a refresh. That's what I like to call it. I use this one a lot when the world's done for the day. I'm laying in bed. No one else is awake, and it's super quiet. Next thing I know, my mind doesn't want to focus on work, things I need to do tomorrow, or my grocery list. No. My mind wants to think about every single horror movie I've ever watched and what it would take to destroy every single villain should they pay me a visit right now at this exact moment in my house. This happens a lot. This is when I tap into my refresh move. To me, it's like emptying out your search history or clearing out a junk bin. My action is I open my eyes as far as I can, look at the ceiling for a couple moments, and then close my eyes rapidly. And that moment, right before I close my eyes, I think about something funny, cool, or just plain relaxing. I've been doing this simple trick for years, and I've literally trained my brain to drop negative thoughts and shush my imagination. As well, this has helped me fall asleep faster than you could ever imagine. You should just ask my wife. I'm pretty good at falling asleep quick. Trick number 2, find one positive, grab it by the horns, and ride that bull until you reach more positives. Sounds much more simplistic saying it out loud than in your head, right? This was the hardest thing for me to make a habit, yet the best trick I've ever learned. When my imagination is in full uproar, the sky's falling, nothing good's going to come out of this, things will never be the same. With all my mental capacity, I find one thing in life, just one thing. My family, my pets, my job, my house, just one thing. And I think about it. In those moments, those brief moments where you're spiraling, the world's turning on you, imagination and anxiety are at their peaks. Just like number 1, you need to make it a habit to find one positive thing in life. Once you latch onto that thing, you use your imagination to amplify it. Amplify that positivity to a whole nother level. This is going to seem foreign at first and unrealistic. I'm telling you though, right now making this a habit will strengthen your ability to use your mind and imagination to amplify positivity in your entire life. Trick number 3. My third trick is something I've recently picked up over the last 2 years or so. This one may not work for many people, or it could be a blessing in disguise, like it was for me. I love music, and even though I'm terrible, I love to sing. Cruising down the road, windows down, and singing loudly puts me in that good place. A few years ago, when I was down on myself, depressed, and worrying about one thing or another, my imagination was really getting the better of me, and I was going into full panic mode. My heart started pulsating. I began to start getting a tunnel vision. Nights in White Satin by Moody Blues came on the radio, and usually when I'm in panic mode, my hearing isn't focused on the background noises. Except clear as day, I heard the lyrics, and emotions literally swept across me like winds across the prairies. I have many good memories tied to that song from a younger age with my best bud. The music almost snapped me out of this crummy situation faster than I've ever broken out from any anxious time in my entire life. Many times I've allowed my imagination to run wild about songs that I have tied to my past, as if I'm in a music video or just having the memory play over and over while listening to the song. I play those memories back or just focus on them. This helps tremendously. Trick number 4, stay busy and let your creative imagination shine in other ways. Jotting notes down for books you want to write. Carry a scribble pad or something you can doodle on. Get a hobby. A hobby is something I harp on to my friends and family consistently. An idle mind leads to negativity. When I'm fully into working on a YouTube video, I not only don't have time for my imagination to run off track, I use my extra energy to focus on the task at hand. My anxious thoughts are then non existent. As well, playing video games. This puts me into a therapeutic trance where I can focus on content and make time for jam with buds. Trick number 4 had helped me many times when I was in the moment, my mind is racing, and I can literally just my imagination's going buck wild. Experimenting with these tricks will be the key to your success. Leave a comment down below on tips you have for the community on dealing with your anxiety. Go ahead and thumbs up or thumbs down. If you're interested in subscribing, go ahead, click down below or on the floating headshot. Much appreciated. As always, take care. Iron Nomad out.